Oscar, hi there. This is Coach Sean at the Leadbetter Academy. It was an absolute pleasure hosting yourself, Lewis, Francis, and obviously Mailer. Sorry about the weather this past week. It's been one of the coldest starts to our new year, but nonetheless, really enjoyed working with you gents. And I'm going to do a short summary here of the key points there, Oscar, we worked on in both your full swing as well as your short game. Let's get started with the full swing. So we've got, say, a 6-7 iron here on the left, your initial swing action. We've got a young Adam Scott on the right. We're going to use some imagery here. We'll draw a plane line up through your club. And really, anytime we look to improve your swing action, look, we've got to consider three main areas. The setup, which includes obviously your grip, your posture, your ball position, and your alignment. Those are the four cornerstones to a good setup. Within the swing itself, we're focusing on the body action as well as the action of the hands, arms, and club. We'll call that the club action. So three areas: club action, body action, and the setup. So main thing we saw in your golf swing from a backswing, downswing standpoint that sort of caused some misdirected shots or inconsistencies, if you will, was the fact that the club got, say, quite inside early behind you. You can see relative to that plane line halfway back, you can see your shaft angle is very flat. You've got a lot of early turn. You can see on the left hand side there with Adam, alright, his club is more up in front of the plane line and slightly steeper than it too. You can see yours was rather flat here. Okay, so that was the first observation in the swing itself. And as we continued from this point, you could see then when you did transition, the club tended to fall slightly behind you. So as you started down, you can see then the hands and arms got a little stuck behind you, and your body stayed closed for quite a while here. You can see your chest and your shoulders are still looking back at us. And you can see as Adam changes direction, obviously his lower body, just like yours, is reacting, but then his upper body starts to react too. So you can see as he gets down into impact, he's actually going left with his shoulders. So his shoulders have now opened up, and obviously his hips well open. Now if we go down to your impact, you can see your chest and your shoulders never really opened up. So although your hips opened up to some degree, you stayed very closed with your upper torso. You can see your arms are to the right and your shoulders are slightly closed there. And you can see because of that there, Oscar, look at how high your hands planed through the shot. You can see relative to the plane line, your hands are very high above it. So that's an indication that you didn't quite rotate to the left to keep your hands going low and around the corner, but rather up and out to the right. We take another player here, another good example of this image that will help you visualize this sort of look of opening up through the shot, getting the chest and shoulders open here. We'll use an image of Nick Price here on the right hand side. Let's put a plane line on. Check out where his hands are as he clears through the shot. Alright, so there's the plane line. So he's going to coil back, club comes up above the line rather than flat, and then when he changes direction, his lower body's leading, and then his upper body then takes over and opens up. So again, just like Adam, relative to the target line, his shoulders have begun to go slightly left, and his hips have most definitely gone left. And you can see where his hands are there. Notice we don't see there, Oscar, his left arm above his right arm like we did with yours. So what we did, we checked obviously on this sort of theme here, and then checked obviously on your fundamentals at address. So we did look at the grip. Your old grip was a little bit weak in the left hand. So you can see your new position now is a grip that's a little bit more in the fingers of the left hand. Check it out. So you can see we moved it into the finger so we could see two knuckles rather than just say 1 or 1.5. We can see a little bit more of the logo on this cold weather glove that we had. And then from there you simply brought your right hand into position and completed it. So just slightly lower in the fingers of the left hand for you there, Oscar. Very, very good. That was the one big item at address. And then swing-wise, we hit some pitch shots that were very helpful in terms of feeling the club more up in front of you going back and a little bit more open with your chest. So hitting some wedge shots, really a great way, some half to three-quarter length wedge shots, a great way for you, number one, to feel yourself setting the club on a more, say, upright plane going back rather than a flat one. So we can see at the same point the club is obviously more up on its end, pointing midway between the foot line and the ball target line as opposed to flat. Okay, very good there. So that was our feel. We used a little barrier there with a swim noodle and a shaft just to give you the feeling that it stayed more up going back. And then on the way down we used the word cover to get to cover and get your shoulders and chest more open through the shot. Alright, so we felt more up going back, so you can see the club's a little bit more vertical there. And then we felt more open coming down, so getting you to feel your chest more open. And all of a sudden we start to see that line in the body. So the hips opened, the shoulders beginning to open relative to target line. You can see the hands have clearly traveled more left at that point. It didn't have to be perfect, it just needed to be better. So you can see, interesting, at this point here on the left hand side, a similar position, but yet again we saw too much of your left arm. Here your left arm's disappeared, hands have gone more left, and your shoulders are more open. Excellent. So that was really the theme there swing wise. A little lower in the fingers of the left hand, feeling the club more up in front of you going back, so a little bit more of a wrist set in front of you rather than dragging the club behind you. And then feeling your chest and shoulders and the handle of the club get a little bit more left through the hit. Lower and left. Okay, excellent. Let's have a look at that again. So lower and left. Wonderful. Very, very good. And then putting that, say, into an overall outline. You can see here on day 2, feeling that club more up in front of you here, and then feeling that cover to the left. So if you look at this practice swing here, you can see now as you transition, getting the chest and shoulders more left. You can see how low the hands look here as they should, going around you to the left. Excellent. So a more rounded finish, not so in to out. So more up in front and then more cover left. Then we just get into good alignment, good posture. That grip looks great. Club in front with that little waggle. And then the chest and shoulders covering left. The hands feeling like they go much lower there. Very good. Excellent. That's it. You can see that club nicely up in front. You can see the hips, shoulders, chest, hands, arms all clearing left through the hit a lot better. There's your little up in front waggle. And then just take that feel and cover left with your chest. Fantastic. Very good. Same theme, obviously we want to have it with the driver. Obviously it was a little, as we worked through it, but what we did notice is this driver, your original driver, is much too soft. And we want you to get obviously